Hello, everyone. My name is Laura. I'm Joel and Steph's assistant. They're actually on a plane right now on the way back from Vegas. So they asked me to step in and host tonight. So you get me. And I have two wonderful ladies with me, Rebecca and Taylor. Both are queens of consistency and just showing up daily and doing the things to make sure their business is growing every single day. And because of that, they're seeing enrollments, they're getting bonuses, they're earning points for Jamaica, all the things. So I'm going to head and go with Rebecca first. Go ahead and unmute yourself and just share a little bit of your story.
Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I literally just texted my chat and was like, I hope I get called second. Anyways, okay, so a little bit about my background with this. I've been doing this for 6 years now, you guys. When I first got started, I was a single teen mom and was really struggling financially to make ends meet, with scrapping metal, selling everything I owned on Facebook just to have extra cash to get by, constantly having to beg parents to borrow money. And I was praying for something to change. I was a CNA, like I was doing all the things I was told to do to make ends meet. I was going to college, had a full-time job, and it just wasn't seeming to work. I was becoming the statistic teen parent I didn't want to be. And so I was praying for something to come along, and I seen this girl posting on Facebook one night about making an extra income. And at first I thought it was not true. Like I thought it was a scam. But I seen another post of hers pop up on her page. Thank God she was consistent. And so I went to her page, I sent her a message, asked her what it was that she was doing. She told me what it was and that it cost to get started. And in my head, I was like, immediately, no, it's not happening. I went on about my day, and a few hours later, my text messages went off. It was H&R Block letting me know my taxes had hit. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. So I texted her back and I was like, something happened. I have the money to make it happen. So let's do it. So started the same day that I had the conversation with her. So I've always thought that this was a God thing for me, because he had her in the right place, right time, and he provided a way to make it happen after me praying over a way to make some extra income. So I started this. I made my diaper money and gas money, which is originally what I had started to do because I was just so tired of bumming money from my parents to pay for basic necessities for my kids. And so I made that pretty quickly. I worked the business for like 2 to 3 months, and then I took like a full year off and didn't do anything with my business. And that was not a good decision. I got wrapped up in a bunch of life. But fast forward that year, I wound up coming back to the business because I knew that there was money to be made here, and I like knew the vision and stuff that could be had. And I was seeing people achieve their dreams and get bonuses and stuff all the time. And so I reached back out to my enroller, and she also had taken a break. And I was like, girl, I really want to do this. Like, let's do it together. We kind of put our heads together, pulled our team back from the dead, and took off hand in hand together. And it's been amazing. I took off really fast that second time that I came back into it, because I started taking it seriously and treating it like a business and not like a side hobby. You know, like I said, at first I was looking for diaper and gas money. So that was like 40, 50 bucks, you know, that hobby money, not business money. And so it was a mindset change for me, but I promoted really quickly to Emerald, and then went Diamond a year after I went Emerald. So
they hold the money to make sure the deal goes through. We don't need that. We can hold the money. I love holding money.
Laura, you're muted.
Thank you, Taylor. I'm worrying about unmuting everybody else. I can't figure out how to, take care of myself here, guys. But yeah, I love your story and how you just said you had to figure out your consistency and figure out how to work it like a business and treat it like a business instead of a hobby to make that money like a business. So Taylor, we're going to go to you next. Same thing. Share a little bit about your story, your busy life. I know you have a lot going on, but you still make sure you work your business every single day.
Hi guys, I'm Taylor. I have been in this business for 7.5 years. The end of this year will be 8 years, and it's so weird to say that. This is the longest job that I have ever had. It's crazy. So when I got started, I was working 50 to 60 hours a week doing accounting, and then also going to school at night. I was not looking for anything like. I was not looking for this. God kind of just brought it into my life because I was hit with the reality, newlywed, and I wanted to always be a mom when I was little. That's just what I wanted to be. And we didn't make enough money for me to be a stay-at-home mom. And like, I don't know, like this was just totally a God thing. I started 5 months later, I quit my job and I've been stay-at-home full-time since then. We've been able to pay for fertility treatments twice now. We have a almost 5-year-old daughter and then a set of twins that are a 1.5 years old now. We've been able to do all the things. We moved into our dream home and we get to travel to Disney, which is like my favorite thing ever. We go multiple times a year now and it's just been the best thing. I get to be home with my kids, give them the schooling that I want to bring them up in the way that I feel like is the best way, and be present with them, which I love that you can earn this extra income into full-time income and still be present with your kids.
So very true. And you are definitely a perfect example of, if you work the business, it works for you, but you can still do it and enjoy your family. So let's go back to Rebecca now. I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about, what does your day look like working the business? How do you make sure you kind of fit doing all your daily tasks in while still not letting it consume your day? Oh, we might have lost her. She looks frozen. Okay, so just kidding, Taylor, we'll go to you first.
Okay, that's fine. So how I stay consistent in my business, I learned this from my friend Courtney, and it's just been a total game changer for me over the last month alone. I've always tried to be consistent, but like when you have kids and life just in general, it gets hard with your schedule and everything. But I learned these shifts. So like morning shift, afternoon shift, and evening shift. And they're just little tasks that you do each day. I can put them in the chat, but it takes literally 15 minutes. I timed myself. I screen recorded to show my girls. It takes 15 minutes to do these tasks each day. So like morning shift, you add friends, send out host to post messages, check on your host to post from yesterday, stories, and happy birthdays. And then like I said, I can put them in the chat, but it's small tasks that you do throughout the day. So you don't have to do everything at once and be glued to your phone for an hour at a time. Because I'm a mom of 3, I can't dedicate an hour even during nap time, because all my kids don't take naps at the same time. So it's 15-minute increments. So it's before they wake up, I do 15 minutes of this. I do 15 minutes during nap time when I can get that 15 minutes, and then after they go to bed. And just staying consistent in that, because it's not a lot of work. It takes 15 minutes. So that's just been a game changer for me. You're muted.
Eventually I'll figure out this unmute thing, I swear. Yeah, I love the 15-minute shifts, because then you're not overwhelmed. You can do it when you have time. And maybe for you, it's 30 minutes, figuring out what works best for you. 15 minutes may be too short. You have more time, maybe not have, 15 minutes 3 times a day. Instead, you need to do 30 minutes twice a day or whatever it is. You just have to find what works best for you. And yeah, if you can put that in the chat at some point, I'll keep talking because I don't think Rebecca has jumped back on yet. But also just kind of talk about a little bit of what was really your mindset shift of saying okay, I know I need to do this consistently every single day in order for this to pay off.
So why? I mean, I do this so I can stay home with my kids. And if I don't do this, I don't get to stay home with my kids. So that's it's a non-negotiable. I have to make this work. But then also it's the ability to say yes to my kids. When we went to go on a spur of the moment trip to Disney, like we did in March with my daughter, we were able to do that. I was able to say yes to Disney, which is not cheap, with my daughter. We flew on a plane, we all the things. So it's the freedom to be able to say yes to my kids and do the things with them, make the memories, because you can't get those back with your kids. Once they're gone, they're gone. So that's my driving force each and every day. So I'm able to say yes to them. And like I said, the ability to do this in like 15 minutes at a time, or if you need to 30 minutes at a time, it's just super simple to do it in that time.
Very, very true. You can definitely find the time as long as you make the time. And we all have the excuses. We can all find other things to do with our time. But if you sit down and say, okay, where do I have time to fit in these small tasks? We all can do it, and we all can succeed. What are you finding are some of your best and favorite income producing activities right now?
Well, I just put it in the chat of what I do, like my different shifts and everything. But those are the income producing activities: is expanding your network, reaching out to people, posting, and just doing those things consistently. It's just been awesome. It's just those tasks have been really helpful because they're so easy and simple, and staying consistent. Those are the income producing activities. So you're not scrolling, and you can hold yourself accountable to those tasks specifically.
Yeah, it's a really good idea to set a timer so then you can catch yourself scrolling, like, okay, I'm going to do this for 5 minutes. Set that timer so you hold yourself accountable. Because I know even if you need to screen record or something, so you can literally go back and see what you were doing for these past 15 minutes. That holds me accountable if I really need something accountable. And then also getting you accountability buddy. I have a couple of them, and we'll let each other know, hey, I got this shift done. We have a group chat that has we do that in too. Hey, I got my shift done, my morning shift, my afternoon, my evening, and you're holding each other accountable when you get enrollments too. So you can show, hey, this hard work is paying off. I love that. Accountability partners and buddies are the best. So we got Rebecca back. Yay. So I'll jump over to you. Just tell us a little bit what your day looks like and how you're staying consistent and what works for you.
So I am a morning person. I get up every day at 6 a.m. and that's whenever I get the bulk of my work done. I utilize 2 to 2.5 hours starting from 6 to about 8:30, depending on whenever my kids get up. And I will get all Facebook messages sent out, Instagram messages sent out, get my TikToks rolling for the day. So I always like to get one up in the mornings to get that flowing. But I get out the bulk of my busier work stuff done in the morning. So all of the messages, getting host to post rolling. And that is my biggest work block. And then in the afternoon, I usually around lunchtime, while my kids are playing, I have a little bucket that I let my kids draw out of the hat for my afternoon tasks so that it keeps them busy. So we just have a little bowl they pick out of the task. Is it going to be water balloons? Is it going to be coloring in the crayon book? Just some type of a busy task to keep them busy for an hour while I get some work done. So then I do that around lunchtime. So they have a quick lunch, they get on their task, and I get to do my task while they're doing that. And that looks like focusing on host to post, getting the rest of those up for the day, and phone calls is the main thing that I do during that time. I'm a big phone call person. That's how I get all of my distributors. And then my next work block is at nighttime. After all the Zooms and stuff are over, I'm doing end of the day, housekeeping stuff. So updating charts and numbers and getting in any last minute work that I maybe didn't get, that I feel like I didn't get enough of during that day. So if I wasn't in enough distributor conversations, I'm going to do more of that. Or if I didn't do enough host to post, I'm going to do more of that.
I love the bucket idea. You make sure it's something fun for your kids, but it's also giving you an opportunity to get your own work done. So it's a win-win. I love that idea. Mamas, take note. It's a good one. I'm just trying to see if there's any questions. What are some of your favorite income producing activities right now that are really boosting your enrollments and really making it so you can use this as a full-time income?
So host to post is where it's at. But for me, my host to post have mainly been coming from TikTok. So a lot of content creation has been my jam lately. And then cold messaging. Those are my two favorite things right now to get income or to get enrollments. Okay, so how are we doing host to post on TikTok? I know not many people are going to be familiar with that. So share a little bit about it. So it can be something super simple, like a picture of your feet walking down the sidewalk, to a popular audio. So you're just taking some type of a scenic photo or just you kind of moving to the words, finding popular audios to use on there, and then you just put your same thing that you would on Facebook. So literally all of our tasks are duplicatable across all platforms. So if you're going to post, like the one that's working for me right now is the peanut butter one. What goes with peanut butter? You can't say jelly, you know. I do that on a video on TikTok, and people will comment what they think peanut butter goes with, and then I just reply and I move them over to my Instagram. So I say, DM me the word TikTok on Instagram. Here's my handle, and I will help you verify your entry. So they DM me the word TikTok. I make sure that they have to follow me for an entry, and then they have to post on their stories for an entry.
I love that idea. I know so many people are Facebook host-to-posters and TikTok and Instagram. That's a great way to move them over, because then you're also getting them in your feed. So they're going to be seeing everything you post. So cold messaging, I know it scares a lot of people. Share a little bit about how you cold message, because I'm the same way. I'm not afraid to cold message. Give me all the no's. Let's take it. But yeah, just share a little bit about what's working for you with that.
Okay, so I was really scared to hop in people's inbox because I don't ever want to seem spammy or be like, I remember in my hometown, whenever we had a mall, there was these people that sold hair straighteners, and they would literally chase people down with these straighteners, and they were like, let me do your hair. I never wanted to seem like that type of person on social media with my product. So I was like, I don't want to be a hair straightener lady, but I just kept seeing top enrollers in our company say that they were doing, them and their team were doing warm messages is what they called them. And I was like, I don't know. But you know what? Eventually I had to just say, like, if it's working, period. Like, stop fighting the system. That's kind of like host to post. For so long, so many people didn't want to do host to post, but it works. Like, why are we fighting the system? And we have to ask. And so I just realized that it's my business and I need to take ownership of that. And what I've found with cold messaging is that there's a lot of people that watch my posts, and I'll get a lot of responses like, yeah, I've seen you post about that the other day, but I didn't comment or whatever. Sometimes people don't want the public to know that they want to lose weight or that they're self-conscious about their skin or whatever. And that's why it's our job to get in their inbox. So it's kind of like a mindset shift, like it is with everything. Just shift your mindset and take control of your business and hop in people's inbox. But I literally go down to my friends list on Facebook, and same thing on Instagram. I don't go down my following list, A to Z, oldest following to newest following on Instagram. And I offer everybody the products and the business. Like, I do not want any stone to be unturned on my social media. So I ask everybody across the board.
I love that. I love it. Go get her. Not afraid to message anybody. So if you had one tip that you could have told yourself at the beginning of all this, when you were like, you know what, I need to make this my full-time income, what would be your one tip to give yourself then if you were just starting again now?
To stick with it and keep your blinders on. It's really, really hard to look left or right and compare your week 2 to somebody else's year 6 or 7. And so just remember that everybody has a different process, and don't give up on yourself. I know for me, like, I did start this business and then take a full year off after only working for a couple months, but my story is so different. So you can't look at my year 6 and say, oh, dang, she's there, because you don't know what it looked like, 2 years ago, whenever I was trying to get a business back off the ground because I quit on myself. So just stick with it, have your blinders on, and don't get caught in that comparison trap.
I love that. It's so easy to get down on ourselves and, you said, compare our week 2 to somebody's year 6. So Taylor, same message to you, or same question. What would be your advice to newbie you?
I mean, that just, it hits the nail on the head. Like, really, like, you can't compare where you are, your start, to someone else's like middle or end or whatever. But for me, it's just stay consistent, because it's very easy to keep a ball rolling. It's harder to get it going again. So like, when you're consistent, when you are doing your tasks each day or doing the income producing activities and then just stop, like, it's hard to start doing those again. But once you get in the groove of doing them each day, like in your morning, afternoon, and evening, it just becomes second natured. So just stay consistent and don't stop. Like, that would be my thing.
So very true. It's a lot harder to get going again than it is to just keep plugging every single day. I'm going to keep this short and sweet for you guys tonight. It's been about 20 minutes and you two just knocked it out of the park, and got, all the good tips and tricks down, and don't be afraid to just, do a little bit of everything. I know sometimes it's like, oh, well, she said host to post working, I'm only gonna do host to post. Well, guess what? So is cold messaging. Don't be afraid to do that too. So set up your own shifts, or if you have to do the full, hour of work one time a day, then do that. But just find what really works for you. And yeah, we like to have fun on Zooms. We do.
I did want to say something. I
yeah.
saw someone ask how do you make this your full-time income when you're still working full-time? I thought that was really good because that was me 7 years ago, because I was working full-time, going to school at night and doing this business. I did it on my hour lunch break. So like Laura said, if you can't dedicate 15 minutes at a time, like 3 times a day, do it on your hour lunch break, or like when you go to the bathroom, because everybody has to go to the bathroom. But like you put it in the little pockets of your day. So take a look at your day. Are you are you on like social media? You could be working this business, doing your shift during that time. So I just wanted to say that, because I saw that back in the chat. Like, how do you make this happen? You do it on your lunch break.
Yes, I love that. That's so good. I know we have a few people on here who still work full-time and make it happen, like Mandy, and she's killing it. And I know she just does it when she can. And that's so important. Yeah, it's definitely a short-term sacrifice for a long-time goal. You might have to wake up that half hour early or stay up that half hour later, but it's definitely worth it. And yeah, like Teresa said, she's getting up at 5:30 every morning and doing a power hour because she knows she's got to go to work. So just make it work for you. Stay consistent. I know it's hard sometimes. Take your Sabbath. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying work this all day every day, but like Rebecca said, don't take a year off. So have a great week, everybody. I hope this got you guys some good tips on how we can manage our time and stay consistent. I feel like a broken record, but that's gonna be the word of the day. Have a great week. We will see everybody next week. Goodbye, everybody.